Welcome to the Gawler Central Oval here today for the grand final between the Newry-Upta Football Club and the Tanunda Football Club. I welcome with you Keith Jamieson from the Angaston Football Club, the coach of the Angaston Football Club, Paul Sherwood, and Kim Jarman. Welcome, gentlemen.
Yeah, thanks, Luke, and great day here at Gawler Central's Oval. Superb weather, bit of a breeze favouring one end, and we've just had the national anthem, and the coin's been tossed by Peter Vivian, who was elected to the SAAFL Hall of Fame during the week. 300-game veteran with Central Districts, coached Angaston and also coached Gawler Central's, getting a flag at Gawler Central's. Paul, you've coached against both these sides this year. How do you see this game? Have you got a tip?
Well, it's been an arm wrestle both times these guys have played during the year, and then obviously Newry got over them down at South Gawler. Just like to see Tanunda just try a couple of different things today just to try and turn the tables, but nevertheless it should be a cracking contest. Yeah, look, and it'll start in the centre square, and just look at the lineup there for both sides. We've got for Tanunda, ruck led by Angus Kurtz, got Riley McFarlane, Nathan Peterson-Gray, and of course Dean Turlick, the male medalist for 2018, against another quality outfit. You've got Slattery in there for the Tigers, Azeri Rakawiser leading the rucks, and then we've got, I need my glasses here, Tim Damazi and Scott Bentley. Should be a great contest, great physical, looking for a bit of physicality early. Kim.
Tips, gentlemen? A few tips?
Tigers on the percentage.
We'll go Tanunda.
Yeah,
for no real reason.
Newry in a close one.
Newry in a close one.
No clearance from the ruck, but now it's Newry out the back gates through Brad Hopener. Only as far as the other side of the circle. It's Kurtz now in there. Big long handball out wide. Finds, I think it's Matthew. Yeah, we'll see a fair few of those early, I think. Both sides will be feeling each other out, trying to control.
His confidence early.
Yeah, wind favouring this end. Trembath moves in. Very straight run up. Very correct kick. He shanked it a little bit and brought it to the near side for a behind, but first score of the game goes the way of Tanunda Football Club. They are kicking to the end where most of the scoring happened today in the earlier games, so they would expect them to have a good first quarter.
Yep, Hopener kicks it to himself and runs a good 20 out from goal and kicks it beyond the 50. Rakiwaza the target, 1, 2, 3 grabs, gets it nicely, looks down the line now, goes short down the line to no one in particular. Ball will run out of bounds. And we'll have a free kick, actually. Bounce just outside the line. And
that's Matthew Pryor.
Matty Pryor, Groggy Pryor to bring it back in. He's got a nice sharp haircut these days by the looks.
Yes,
so Groggy Pryor goes inside 50, sets it underneath it. Rakiwaza again. Spilt the mark, but recovered off the deck. Handball's out, and players will be tackled over the line. Boundary throw in on the forward 50 for Tanunda.
Craig Gogol, the veteran for Newry-Upta, long career at Central District before coming back to his home club. You've got to think this is close to his last game. Throw in half forward, left half forward for the Magpies. It's Ben Schiller, gets a handball out to Turlick. Turlick has to shape it along the boundary line, but Lee Westhoff pushed across the line, and another throw in across half forward. Umpires today, we've got, you should know them. Long time with a throw in. Kurtz gets front position, gets the ball down. Coming through was Pryor, but Parker. So Sam Brooks. They're all starting to look alike.
Both sides just feeling each other out at the moment.
Yeah, got on the fourth go. I'm still nervous after the reserves result.
Britton doing the ruck work down. Turlick sends it inside 50 now. 1-on-1. Newry player in best position. Gets a handball to it. Hits the ground. Recovers though. 3 players dive on it. Umpire may have called something here. He has called a free kick to Newry-Upta. And it goes the way of Bentley, who kicks out wide and finds Hopener on the wing. In a bit of space now. Newry heading forward up the line. Both players run underneath it. Well gathered back there by Shane Dearlove. He kicks it forward, so we're right in the forward pocket for Newry-Upta now, and Sammy Gordon
pushed across the line.
Tackles out of bounds. There's a bit of fire happening over there, I think. The players are into it, Jamo.
Yeah, no, early physicality was predicted, and it's happening already. A little bit of pushing and shoving. A couple of players hit the ground. Shane Dearlove, lucky to be playing today. He comes into this game with a big injury, but passed a fitness test last night to be playing today.
There's always going to be a bit of feeling in the game, but I like the way the big fellas are sticking up for the full forward there. I think the Tanunda boys were trying to get into the full forward to unsettle him there.
And he has kicked goals. He kicked 5 out of 9 in the second semi-final. Newry now with the chance to kick for goal on the 50, right on the 50, and it's against the breeze. Needs to start at left to right. High ball, it'll hold up. Pack will fly. In front, looks like Kurtz has taken the mark.
Good mark under pressure.
Kurtz turns, low kick out. Ball's collected by Westhoff. Handball's off, back to Westhoff. He's tackled, brought to ground, and the umpires will have a ball up left half forward for Newry Upta.
Yeah, the matchup with Matthew Pryor on the big full forward, Gordon, is crucial, because Gordon's been able to kick a lot of goals off against Tanunda the last couple of times.
And 52 for the year. Ball's back into attack for Newry Williams for the 50-metre circle, and an easy run into goal for Zach Darms, and that's the first goal on the board for Newry Upta, courtesy of young Zach Darms, some time at Central Districts, one of the younger players in the Newry Upta side. And Tanunda possibly have had most of the ball, and as always happens against the flow of play.
You can see when it goes in the Newry forward line, they lock it in well, they set up the wall well, it's hard to escape, and that's what pretty much happened there. Repeat entries, and in the end, Newry got the soft goal over the back.
Don't you love then? Darms, just a beautiful forward pocket, stayed down. Everyone else flew. He was hungry for the crumbs, and he got it, ducked out the back of the pack and kicked the goal.
Smart footy. Restart now. Was Rakawaiser got the tap out the back, and it's Newry with the clearance up to half forward inside the 50. Bit of pushing and shoving. Can't get his hands to the ball though. Tanunda will clear or should clear. Get the ball out. Oh, great tackle. Was that push in the back? Certainly was. And a free kick will go the way of Tanunda's Brett Dowles. Dowles across half back for the Magpies. Of course, the Magpies victorious in Melbourne last night. Don't know whether that's an omen. His kick just evades the man on the mark. Harmon flies at the front, can't get it though. It comes down to Riley McFarlane, quick off the boot, down to half forward. Players are diving in on the ball. Here comes Gibson. Gibson gets a high handball out to no one in particular. Darcy Harmon is forced to unload it, and a free kick for a throw, or is it a tackle? Is that a handball? Did he indicate a handball there? Or?
Yeah, I think.
Right, Harmon quickly plays on. Finds Riley McFarlane. Not inside the 50 yet. He handballs over the top to Turlick. Why wasn't someone on Turlick? Turlick into the square, but the easiest to mark taken by James Bentley.
They're away now down the outer side. Jackson Baldwin kicks it over the top and finds a bloke on his own. Hopener, he's been amongst it early, kicks it down the line again, but it's Matty Pryor from Tanunda chopping in front of Foulis on that occasion. Now he kicks it back towards the forward line. No one in particular there. Crumbed very well there by
Rakawaiser.
Yeah,
that was Bobby.
Rakawaiser as well.
But Bobby only as far as Ben Schiller. Ben Schiller pumps it forward for the Magpies again. A chain of handballs should see the Newry to relieve the pressure. A hard kick out or harsh kick, bouncing ball, hard to gather. Comes down to Luke Snowden. Luke Snowden's handball backwards. Tanunda back inside the 50. Good looking kick. Player in front, but off the pack was Riley McFarlane. Flying shot at goal and marked on the goal line by Craig Gogol.
Okay, so Newry in the back pocket, kicking outside 50. Rakiwaza the target again. He looks to be like he's going to be the target all day, and he's got this footy against two Tanunda opponents, although it's smothered off the boot. He's got it again. Backs up very well when it hits the deck. Free kick happening here.
Free
Might
down
be
the field.
downfield to Newry Upper. And the recipient will be Sam Gordon. So he kicks inside 50. Great lead on then by, I think it might be Darms again, is it? Great lead out to the forward pocket. Chips inside, gets Dearlove.
Clever kick.
Got him, 45 out.
And Shane Dearlove should have no trouble with the distance.
It was a great contest out at half back. Bobby beat three Tanunda guys there. Regathered, and hence a big reason why this Dearlove's having a shot for goal.
Dear Love kicks right on the 50 metre, fires it in. Looks good. The New Upton supporters are very, very happy. 2 goals to the Tigers. They lead Tanunda by 2 straight goals to 1 behind.
Just looks like the matchup with Turlick, which is going to be important, is Slattery's taking him in the centre bounce, and then looks like Scholes is watching him around the field a bit. So we'll keep an eye on that.
Hey, Paul, how important are early goals? You know, Trenbath, Tanunda's full forward, has a shot. If he nailed that, Tanunda would have had the first one on the board. As it turns out, Newry have got the next 2, and their big centre-half forwards just lump one from 50. Must give them a lot of confidence.
Yeah, super important to make the most of the opportunities. Scoreboard pressure.
Kurtz down and gets the ball down, and Tanunda in attack through Nathan Peterson-Gray. But once again, the Newry defence playing behind the ball of chain of handballs releases Henry Slattery. He mixes it centre, but his kick's a poor kick, and Tanunda are back into attack inside the 50. Got the sit here. Good defence again by New Upton, but only had to get it over the top, and there were lurking Tanunda players. Now Trenbath breaks clear. He's legged and will receive the free kick dead in front, and should convert. Surely won't miss this one.
You can see a few blokes that have played league footy here, just the way they can push off opponents or get around blokes. You know, there's obviously a lot of great country footballers here, but you can just tell the silk of some of the blokes who have played league footy.
And there's quite a few out there that have played league footy.
And he didn't panic, Trenbath. It was a clever play.
So here he is, a chance to redeem himself. Still early in the first quarter. Puts it straight through by the looks, makes no mistake, and Tanunda are on the board.
And that's a relief for him because, as Paul said, only 3 goals in the 2 semi-finals so far. He might have been feeling that it was drying up. Of course, 82 goals, I think, 88 goals for the season. So he's in the 90s in the grand final. Don't think he'll make 100 though.
Great crowd here today too, Keith.
Yeah, good crowd here at Gawler Central's Oval. Took a bit of going to get this grand final here. There was a fair bit of politics going on, but finally we're here. Second time they've ever hosted a grand final. I know that before the 15 started, 1,400 people had come through the gate. So
how many?
1,400. That's before the under 15s had started.
Gee.
So we're probably looking at a good crowd, 3,000-4,000 right here as we watch this game.
All right, centre ruck tap, ball hit the deck, kicked off the ground by Alec Bryce, but only as far as Sam Brooks, who marks for Tanunda at half back. Kicks to Turlick on the wing in space, who in turn goes forward looking for Darcy Harmon. Ball goes over the back. Raki Waza, the younger one, I believe, mops up. He dances around a couple, gets the ball across the goggle, whacks it on the left boot. Turlick again spills the mark. Newry, good roving here through Shinnick, gets the handball out. Again, very, very close to the boundary line here, but Tanunda are able to regather, gets it to Turlick. Chain of handballs over the top. Harmon now in a bit of space, goes for the banana. Oh, it's hit the top of the post, and they're not big posts here.
Interesting, Newry have almost elected not to run with Turlick.
Yeah, I've watched. Turlick's been running loose quite a bit when they've got the ball, so they probably need to just tighten up a little bit there, I would have thought.
Newry now will be able to clear through the agency of, I think it's Craig Gogol.
Gee, they look
see the big fella stands.
Defence,
yep.
don't they?
They've certainly got the numbers in defence and they work it out well. Throw in we've got. Right half forward for the Magpies. Isn't taken out of the air. Now it comes to Brad Hopener. His left foot kick finds Isaiah Rakawiser in the centre. He kicks out wide to his brother running onto the ball. This is Bobby, I think, or is it Magic? No, it's Magic. Magic just slams it on his boot. Up in front is Gordon. He can't mark. Matty Pryor's with him. Gordon turns him inside out, gets a kick towards the square, and in front, I think, it's big fella Shane Dearlove.
I like the look of this big fella, Jamo. I haven't seen him play before, but if he dobs this, tell you what, the crowd's up and about.
He's a big unit, and geez, again, that back line from Newry, as we touched on, that half back line, which was the team of the year half back line, really giving some good rebound.
He slotted it.
Puts it straight through, sends it over to the canteen, used to be here.
You got
the
a good memory.
Shed building.
You got a good memory, Jars.
I used to love a good pasty there when I was about 14 years old. Probably had too many of them as well.
Score reads 3 goals straight to the Newry Tigers, and we have Tanunda on 1 goal 2. Tanunda need the goals. I feel they've got the breeze.
They've got the breeze.
May have been named to start on the bench, but Douglas goes up against Britain, I think it is, for Tanunda. So both the key ruckmen having a rest, but it's Newry that break it out of the centre. Handball over the top. Centre half forward now. Ball is in dispute. Players going hard. Bignell tried to clean Bryce up then, I think. Missed, fortunately, for Bryce, but he had a bit of a crack at it. Players still trying to assert their physicality.
Ball up now, just inside the centre square, Newry's end of the ground. And there'll be another ball up almost exactly in the same place. Stacks on the mill, as they say. Fair bit of tagging there. Britton gets under the ball, gets a taps it backwards, but not to any great effect. Now it's taken by Rakawaza, one of the boys, and thrown to the ground, and another ball up just inside the 50. Inching towards their goals, Newry, just inching.
So ball up, centre half forward for Newry. A great tap down on that occasion by Douglas, straight into the lap of Newry. Handball 1-2, kicks goal, kicks long for goal. Looks like the wind has carried it, and Newry again.
Henry Slattery, the flying shot at goal on that occasion, and Newry now move on to 4 goals straight, I make it, against Tanunda's 1-2.
Yeah, just a little bit more effective going forward at the moment. Tanunda have had some opportunities, but 4 goals straight. They look a little bit more dangerous going forward at the moment. Newry and Tanunda just need to find good avenues to goal when they get their chance inside 50.
It's Britton again. Britton versus Dom Douglas. Britton with the ball, with the tap, but that player wrapped up and another ball up in the centre circle.
McFarlane working hard in there to get to that footy, but of course set upon by 3 Newry players. So ball up, ruckman again. This time it's Britton gets a clear hand to the ball. Same result by the looks here. Players pile on top of each other. Now someone's toe poked it out.
Not very far though.
Not very far. So a ball up again, right in the centre circle.
Be Britton again. Britton versus Douglas. Slattery moving around the back. Britton with a big slap. Newry player fails to take it cleanly. Now he turns. He's got Bignell on his hammer. Now he left foot towards the boundary line. It should be collected. It is collected by Aaron Laverty. He gets a handball over the top, and it's holding the ball against Newry. A free kick to be taken by Ben Schiller. Ben Schiller, captain of Tanunda, kicks the ball up to half forward, but in the way looks like Sean Gibson, the veteran, back at his old club after a stint at Mintaro. Captain coached a couple of premierships there. Slips the ball inside to Henry Slattery. I'm not sure whether Tanunda are running with Slattery either, Paul.
I don't think so, but he's just starting to come into it the last 6 or 7 minutes.
And Westhoff held off the ball then by the big fella Shane Dearlove, and a throw in right in front of the commentary point here at Gawler Central's Oval. It's Newry up to 4 goals straight to Tanunda 1-2 in the 2018 Barossa and Gawler Football Association Grand Final. Wynn takes the throw in, comes out to Peterson Gray. He slips the handball out to Sam Brooks. Sam Brooks over the top, but Ryan Bignell had to wait for it. So Newry will clear now out through Tim Damasi. He goes across half back. The ball now finds Brad Hopener. Hopener has to steady, round one way, then the other, kicks up to the wing. As the contest there, won't be clearly marked. Now Newry might get out of this, but a handball across the line, and we'll have a throw-in on the far side of the Gawler Central Oval.
Yeah, not big wings here. You see a lot of ball throw-ins today, I think. Obviously, Gawler Oval, the skinniest in the league, isn't it, Jamo, across the ground? Just say yes.
Yes, all right. You have you? It isn't, is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
106 metres across.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Even I could hit a 6 here. As Tanunda come out of half back. Raikawa's behind, but punches the ball down cleverly. Newry should clear the ball through a chain of handballs. Finally out to Jack Scholes. Jack Scholes, the skipper of Newry, lucky to be playing. Played on though by, and has he kicked a goal? No. Played on by Nathan Peterson-Gray and just the behind. Jack Scholes, I thought he had a season-ending injury, but miraculously he's made it into the grand final side. Kick comes out to the grandstand side of the ground from the kick in, and touched and pushed across the boundary line, and a throw in across half forward for Tanunda Magpies, who trail 1-3 to 4 straight to the Newry Tigers. The big rivals in the BLG, big rivals for over 100 years.
Okay, boundary throw in. Hits, lands on the ground behind the ruckman. and Newry are able to gather and run it through the middle. Hopener gets out wide to Damasi. He's under the pump. Surprised he could get a kick away there. He's run down from behind. Now it goes out. AJ Pryor's able to gather it. He too's under pressure but manages to squeeze a handball out. Lots of good body work there. Players throwing themselves right at the contest, and we'll have another ball up centre wing out of side.
20 minutes gone.
AJ Pryor's pace, lack of pace found out there, I think.
Yes, he wasn't ideal for him doing that, but great second and third effort by Damasi there for Newry.
From the tap, they have the clearance, but only as far as Azeri Ruckawaiza. He chips the ball out in front of the Newripta running player. He is forced to handball indiscriminately. It should go out here. Tanunda should be seeking the boundary line. Perhaps they might get the free kick, but the umpire moves in and will ball it up left half forward for the Tigers.
Interesting to see how many possessions Hopner's had off half back. It just seems like no one's going near him, and he just keeps rebounding and causing some issues.
Yeah, I would expect him to start in the centre, but it's all Newry from the kick out. They form the wall across the line, across the half back. And Slattery pumps the ball back in, looking for Dearlove. It's punched away from him. Now it comes down onto the ground to Dearlove. Tanunda maybe can clean up. Their handball and clearance from the back line is nowhere near as efficient as Newripta. Kick into the centre square. Should be an easy kick. No, it isn't. Tanunda defenders beset. Now turning and spinning and kicking a goal is Aaron Laverty for Newripta. That's 5 straight for the Tigers. Again, spinning and kicking a goal is Aaron Laverty for Newripta. That's 5 straight for the Tigers.
Laverty, beautiful little pirouette and goal.
Yeah, just a great contest by, I thought, Gordon and Dearlove, the two big fellas in the pocket here, just to keep the ball alive. They were outnumbered and kept alive, and it spilled out for a good goal to, as you said, to Laverty.
Really, Tanunda should have cleared that, shouldn't they? They had the numbers there.
Should have cleared it, and they had the numbers to get it out of that 50. But again, they're just so effective inside 50 at the moment in the front half, Newry. It's the difference at the moment.
The main ruckman now back into the centre. So Rakiwaza and Kurtz going at the centre ball up here. Pretty even contest. Hits the deck to Westhoff. Gets a quick kick on the boot inside 50, looking for Harmon. Doesn't get it. Spilt down. Little Ellis with the headgear. Good handball. Trent Barth snaps around the corner. Should be a goal to the Magpies. It looks like it is.
Umpire taking his time.
Great answer from Tanunda. Answered within a few seconds, Jamo.
And really needed. Now we've got a player down.
Darcy Harmon, I think, just from the contest. Not sure if he sort of lost his footing when he was in the air. And
Newry are 5 goals 30 right on the scoreboard, and Tanunda 2-3-15.
Yeah, to say Tanunda needed that goal is an understatement. Coming on the ground now is Alec Bryce for Newry, running straight to the centre square. Ball up. Kurtz and Bobby. Kurtz up high, gets the tap as far as to the wing to Parker Nelner. First time we called Parker Nelner for the day.
Yeah, well done. Nathan Peterson-Gray put his head over the ball there and went in hard as he could. Gathered it, got tackled, but great intent there. And we'll have another ball up in the centre square.
Rakawaiza electing to go check side. Kurtz still gets the tap. It comes out to Parker Nelner, but he's tackled high by Brad Hopener, and there's Tanunda's chance to go into attack. He'll just chip out to Lee Westhoff. No, terrible kick over his head, can't bring it in, and ball out of bounds, making their own pressure on that occasion, Tanunda.
Yeah, I guess what he was trying to do there, not to bomb the ball in because Newry got the numbers back, but just need to hit that target.
Throw in now on the wing for front of our broadcast point here. Comes out, Bo Shinnick should be first to the ball. He's manhandled, tackled high, and received the free kick from, Parker Nelner could have tackled a little bit better there, a little bit cleaner.
Just Shinnick, on 24 minutes played.
To go down the line towards the boundary, too far. Again, those skinny wings, Jamo, put it out of bounds on the full, right near the Tanunda coach's box. Brooks brings it in.
106
he has
metres,
got McFarlane on his own. 106 metres. He goes out wide. Harmon on the lead, closing the defender from Newry. Gibson gives away the free. I think the old chopping the arms is the call there.
Yep.
Rolls inside on the left, puts it into space, looking for Trenbarth, too far in front. Ellis gathers. He can't keep it in. Had too much momentum, and boundary throw in the left forward pocket for the Magpies.
He's got some toe, that young Ellis, hasn't he? He looks rather lively up there.
Yeah, only a youngster. I think still eligible for senior Colts. Kurtz at rucks by himself. gets the ball down to Westhoff. Westhoff to Parker. But Parker's kick is, Parker Nelner's kick that is smothered. And Rob Polito has found a free kick to go the way of Newry-Upta across half back.
So young Alec Bryce, he'll look for an option. Not much happening at the moment. Players sort of standing still. Elects to go short. He went to Shinnick, but got spoilt by Westhoff then. Great pick up there by the young fella who kicked the goal a minute ago, Laverty. He goes in board short again. Lots of players milling around the ball here. We'll probably have a ball up. I think Baldwin's just thrown a chinky punch there at McFarlane. Didn't go unnoticed by the Tanunda players, but nothing ensuing, which is probably a good thing.
Umpire will ball it up just on the edge of the centre square. Big leap by Kurtz. And another ball up. Should count the stoppages.
So I think Matty Westhoff having a crack in the ruck here now. So they've changed their ruckman a few times. Tanunda, so Westhoff and Rakiwaza. Westhoff gets double hands on the ball, trying to hit it down to Neldner. In the end, Shinnick jumped in front and then was tackled to the ground. So a secondary ball up here.
Westhoff again, this time one-handed, punches it towards the boundary line, and I think that's where it'll end up. Or has there been a free kick picked from the umpire Polito, who wasn't on the play, and it goes the way of Dean Turlick.
Yeah, free kick off the ball.
So the male medalist, Dean Turlick, of course, a former Norwood and Melbourne player. Looks to send, runs right inside, ends up going pretty close to the man on the mark, shaped up to kick it longer, ended up kicking it shorter, didn't really come off either way, and Newry are able to mark. They've kicked out to the outer side where they've found a lot of space in this first quarter. Got Dearlove down the line on his own, right in front of the Newry crowd. He takes the mark, so the centre half forward has the ball right on centre wing. Now what's the next option? He rolls inside, looks like he's going to kick it long. It's off the side of the boot, straight to Neldner, fumbles, but able to get the Newry player out of the way. Turlick, handball, got it away. Kick forward by Nathan Peterson-Gray inside 50. It's a scrambling footy to the outer side. Rakiwaza, is this the one they call Magic? Jamo, he's gathered it. He comes inside. Plenty of time and space. He's got some legs as well. Kicks to Baldwin, sets himself for a mark. Well done there in front by the Tanunda player to affect the contest. And now the contest is on there. Neldner sort of raised his elbow a little bit, which Gibson wasn't happy with. But nevertheless, the siren goes for quarter time.
With the scoreboard showing Newry-Upta 5 straight goals and Tanunda 2 goals 3. There haven't been any goals in the last 5 minutes of the play though.
There's a free kick happening now after the siren here. I said Neldner did sort of put his arm up, and the umpire mustn't have been happy with the remonstrating, so they've given Neldner a free kick, and he's decided to take a shot from 75 out, tried the torp, and just got what could happen if he didn't have a go at it.
That's right, probably all would. Paul, how have you seen this first quarter? Newry with a score on the board, really, when they've gone forward, they've just been more efficient?
I think that's pretty much it. I think the half-back line from Newry, we mentioned Hopner's been good, Magic back there. They've just given some really good rebound and been able to lock the ball in the 50. I would think the inside 50s are probably pretty even, but yeah, 5 goals straight is a really good effort from Newry. And Tanunda should go into the break thinking, well, we're a couple of goals down, we're in the game, we just got to use the footy a bit more smarter going through the middle and up, particularly.
I think Newry's handball's a lot cleaner.
Probably been a bit more cleaner, but you know they just need to look at some avenues going forward with Tanunda, because I mean Magic is playing on Heyman and giving him no respect at all. So need to find those guys where Newry are happy to sort of zone off and play a team defence, not just be Trenbath conscious all the time. Although Josh Trenbath has definitely started the game very well.
Yeah, 2 goals, which is equals what he kicked in the second semi-final. They need to restructure the forward line, perhaps bring Trenbath further out.
I wouldn't mind seeing that. I think that would be something different. You saw Kurt spend a fair bit of time forward. He could play full forward. Trenbath's such a smart player and good kick. Having him across half forward, having a shot for goal or setting plays up, I think that would be something worth looking at for sure. He's
certainly got the distance, and Britton's obviously no slouch at full forward either. He's kicked a lot of goals as a key forward in the past. But they need something to break the defence of Newry-Upta.
They do, and they just need to, once they start finding some targets, just to make them a bit more accountable back there, that'll open it up for them. But at the moment, unless they start using the ball a bit better, Newry are be hard to stop.
Yeah, a total of 7 goals in the first quarter, so only 15 kicked all up in the second semi-final, which was a real battle of the defences, a real battle of the back sixes. Will we see the game open up? Is either coach going to be prepared to open up the game and roll the dice, take a chance?
Well, it's been a good game to watch so far. I mean, we've had 7 goals kicked for the quarter, so both teams playing centre half back at the moment on Dearlove, probably just giving him a little bit too much latitude, and Dearlove's been quite effective kicking a couple of goals in that first quarter. So Matthew Westhoff's one of those guys who could go forward and help straighten Tanunda up a bit.
Better players for the quarter from both sides?
Well, I thought McFarlane was pretty handy for Tanunda early on. Brooks had a little bit of it. Turlick had a few touches, and obviously Trenbath up in front of goal was good with 2 goals. And for Newry, well, Hopner was a standout, and I thought Bobby and Magic, particularly Bobby, was very good around the ground for Newry.
Beautiful sunny day here at Gawler Oval, Jamo. Big crowd in. Very Barossa type day, I guess, when you look at the B grade and A grade with Newry and Angaston in the Bs. Angaston getting the chocolates there, back to back. First ever flag Angaston B grades ever won, wasn't it, Jamo, last year? And they're able to go back to back this year. And then Tanunda and Newry in the A grade. I can spot a few boys down here look like RSMU footy club are here. They're all in Hawaiian shirts. I'm not sure if they're not having a footy trip this year or this is their footy trip, but they're certainly all donning the Hawaiian shirts, so they're easy to spot, enjoying a few beers in the sunshine.
Not a good year, the Hawks, this year.
No, it didn't go as well as they had been, had they, in recent years? They're sort of perennial grand finalists, still made the 4, so not a terrible year, but by their standards, they've played in a lot of grand finals lately.
Yeah, I have seen BSR play once this year, and they're a very good side. Brinkworth Sporting Red Hill, very, very good side, and they'd hold their own in the BLG. Here we are, the restart though, the second quarter. Quarter time score was Newry up to 5 straight to Tanunda 2-3. Tanunda will be going to the, I suppose we call it the railway end of Gawler Central's Oval. We feel the breeze is probably favouring the other end, the town end, but waiting to see. All the goals were kicked at this what supposedly wasn't the goal scoring end in other games.
One guy that I think Tanunda have missed this year is Nick Smith off half back.
Yep.
Hard to replace guys that. He uses the ball so well and smart. I see him watching down in front of us here. He's a player that would have been very handy for Tanunda today.
Yeah, he is here, but probably isn't qualified. AJ Pryor is at centre half back, but appears to be standing Aaron Laverty.
He's all of 75 kilos ringing wet, Gemmo.
He is.
But there you go. So Newry trying something different, ready for a bounce down at the start of the second quarter. Ball flies in the air. It's Westhoff gets Bobby on that occasion. Great follow-up from Peterson Gray there. Baldwin for Newry boots it out to the boundary line and we'll have a throw in. And Turlick and Baldwin just giving each other a bit of lip.
They are.
Yeah, it looks like Ben Schiller's gone to Baldwin and, of course, he's right into him.
Yeah, Benny wouldn't be saying nice things to him right now. But anyway, here's the throw-in. On the centre wing, Rakawaiser pushes Westhoff out the way and does get the tap. Tanunda do get the ball from the clearance, but unable to clear. Good tackling by New Rupta and a free kick for kicking to go the way of New Rupta's Henry Slattery. Slattery just in front of the centre square, slightly to the grandstand side of Gawler Oval. Kicks long and high. Should be punched away by the Newry defence. Waiting down the bottom was Zach Darms. He couldn't take the ball away. It's handballed out, but only as far as Ryan Fowlis. Fowlis kicks a kick into the square where it should be cleared out by Riley McFarlane. He finds a target on the far side. Chip kick up high, forced to wait under it, punched away by Dearlove, and in fact gives away the free kick. Goes to Darcy Harmon, cross half back for Tanunda. Tanunda really need the first score on the board in this quarter.
So Harmon now kicks down the line right in front of the Newry crowd on the outer side. Attempted a one-handed mark there by Bentley. Doesn't come off. Ball hits the deck. And again, socked towards the boundary line in desperation. And we'll have a throw in.
Yeah, on the far side. And I just think Tanunda perhaps a little bit more desperate, but there's no one loose. There's no wall by Tanunda from this throw-in, so let's see what happens. Rakawaza with the tap over the top of Westhoff. Comes to ground. Parker Nelna's in there. Handball out though. Newry into attack. Oh, holding the ball. Got to go. And
Great
a free kick.
tackle by Turlick there.
Turlick needs to inspire his side. He goes high, wide and handsome. Not the best of the kicks, but it's just stolen. Just absolutely stolen by Benny Schiller. His kick finds Trembath. Is it a long way out? So perhaps he is across half forward now, Paul. Elects to middle the ball, goes to the top of the square. Pack flies, comes down to, I think that is Laverty. Laverty's kick out only as far as Pryor, who's come up from half back. His left foot kick centering into the corridor. Rakawaza couldn't mark it, and there'll be Stacks on the middle and a ball up about 40 metres out from
it looks like
Tanunda's goal.
Kurtz is playing forward, spending a fair bit of time down there. I wonder if he is injured or...
So
you think he'd have to be?
Right leg strapped a bit, the calf. He's just sort of pulling at it a bit now, so maybe it's, he's stuck down there for a while by the looks. Tanunda now gather the ball in the centre. AJ Pryor gets the handball out wide. Players fumble, and it's Newry on the counter-attack now running away. Gordon handballs to the smaller player there, and he kicks it long inside 50s. One-on-one, Sam Brooks and Darms. One-on-one, Darms has got more toe. He might dance around him here if he can. Gets the handball away to Big Dear Love. Goes on the outside of the boot. I don't reckon it'll get there. It won't. Matty Pryor takes the mark back there for Tanunda. He chips short. He's got his brother all alone in the back pocket. Room made there. Kicks wide to the outer flank and finds Luke Snowden. Luke Snowden's got another man over the top. Looks like Lee Westhoff on the outer side. Smooth mover. He's just summing up his options, but Tanunda doing well here to maintain possession. He kicks long down the line now to the boundary. Guess is Turlick tries to mark it with one hand, doesn't come off. Players now scrambling for possession, and another ball up.
Had to go down the line. Bobby Rakawaza just sloping in the middle of the ground there, waiting for the ball to come out. Now Houghton is playing that kick out behind, and also there's Gibson. So Tanunda Newry got the players positioned. If Tanunda don't deliver the ball efficiently, they're just going to clear it out of defence again.
Yeah, and that's where they're getting their rebound from. So you need someone to make a 2-on-1 there and push up.
So boundary throw in. Matty Westhoff looks like he's got the main ruck duties at this point in time. Newry's the one that gather it and kick it inside 50. Ball hits the deck. Pryor's first on it. Gordon tackles him. The other Pryor's there. He gets tackled by Darms in a good strong tackle. Doesn't look like a big strong man, Zach Darms, but he laid a good strong tackle there.
AJ Pryor failed to take that catch. I just would have thought he would have gobbled that up.
We saw a couple in the B grade too, experienced players bounce off the chest. It's just one of those days, Jamo. The sun's very bright and the nerves are on.
Very nervous. Only as far as Jackson Baldwin, who marks on the wing. He centres the ball and finds, is it Laverty? Laverty's still outside the 50-metre circle. Now called to play on. Goes to the forward pocket. Dearlove's there and has given away the free kick. On to Schiller. Schiller tries to evade Baldwin, can't, runs out of space and across the boundary line. Another throw in front of the grandstand. The magnificent Greyhound Club here at Gawler Central's Oval. Fantastic viewing from up there. Throw in now. Westhoff, Rakawaza. Rakawaza pushes McFarlane out. Now he's got the ball. Handballs over the look-away handball to Baldwin. Baldwin fires it into the pocket. Diving for the ball is Dearlove. Not sure whether he kept it in play or not. The goal umpire, the boundary umpire a long way behind. Gordon, is it?
Yeah.
Boundary umpire a long way behind and wouldn't have had a clear view of that. Can he slot this? This will be the first score of the quarter. He's going for the banana. Going to kick around the corner and has kicked too far around the corner and through for the Tigers' first behind for the game. They move on to 5-1, leading to Tanunda 2-3. Tanunda yet really to even get inside their 50.
So Matthew Pryor has played a bit of league footy at Central District to bring the ball back in. Looking for options. Newry have got everyone manned up at the moment. Thinks about going to his brother one-on-one. Doesn't. Ends up going short to Douse, who takes the mark. Inside defensive 50. 10 goes short again. finds Bignell. Bignell looks, lead on through the centre of the ground, ignores that, decides to go out wide and play it a bit safer. He's got Westhoff camped under that and takes a good grab. So Tanunda effectively get it out to centre wing. He goes short again. Oh, the big fella Dearlove just chipped in front of the Tanunda player there to mark strongly in front of the Newry-Upper crowd. And he likes kicking it long, and he does get a fair bit on this one. Inside 50, 2-on-1 in Tanunda's favour. Managed to bring the ball to ground. Fowlis roves it, handballs onto Gordon, dances round one, pushes one off, gives him the don't argue, gets tackled, handballs out wide. Newry handball inside to Bryce. Short chips on and finds Laverty. Only just went the 15, I reckon.
I wouldn't have paid it myself. Bring in the 20-yard free kick. Markable kick, but Laverty will have a shot. He'll be just inside the 50-metre circle when he kicks the ball. Only a slip of a player, not much to him, but he's figured already and all.
Now, I've seen a few, when I say smaller guys or skinnier guys, you don't have to be a big lump of a man to kick it a long way if you've got good timing. I've seen a few skinny blokes who can kick it a fair way. This might test him. Looking at him, haven't seen him play before. He's having a crack at it, went very close to the man on the mark, gave himself every chance, but it's out to the right-hand side.
So 5 goals, 131 to Tanunda 2-3. The Tigers in command here by 15 points, 16 points.
Bignell gets a quick kick out, only as far as Bryce for Newry-Upper. So Bryce outside 50, left to screen. He kicks it inside, and again 2-on-1. Well roved there by AJ Pyro. Hacks it out to the boundary, which is probably a smart play. First player there will be Dowse. He's there to put the fire out, so to speak, and runs over the boundary line. Yeah,
wrapped up and rolled over, and a throw in on the other side of the ground now, right half forward. Nothing happening at much at the moment in this game, and I can't really see either side breaking away at the moment, Paul.
No, it really is an arm wrestle at the moment, and hence the next goal or two is going to be really important in this game, I think.
Kick tie. This could be an interesting kick if it's marked. It isn't, punched away, and free kick found to go the way. Bobby.
You can't, I guess, blame the umpires for the looking after the man in front there. Led strongly at the ball, had the arms up, and Turlick had sort of 2 bites at spoiling it, but the umpires judged he infringed. And the man you call Bobby having a shot now from 40 out directly in front at the Gawler town centre end. So he should...
the man called Bobby can play.
Man of his experience will probably dob it, which will be danger signs for the Magpies.
Laconic
in the game, he has dobbed it indeed.
Laconic kick, he just did that smoothly, didn't seem to put any effort in. And
his experience will probably dob it, which will be danger signs for the Magpies.
Laconic
in the game, he has dobbed it indeed.
Laconic kick, he just the time score. And things are not looking good for the Magpies. No,
and Bobby's snuck forward now. So with Gordon, Bobby and Dearlove up there, it's not easy for Tanunda to match those 3 big forwards up. It's a good move by Henry Slattery. So we're just going to see what happens next time it goes down there. And if Kurtz is out of the game, he can afford to take him out of the ruck. Bignell comes out, good body, gets the kick. Kicks wide though, but first the ball should be Bo Shinnick for Newry-Upper. He turns onto his right boot, lobs it high into the forward line, right on the 50, but coming across and taking the mark is Luke Snowden for Tanunda. Luke fires it back into the corridor, over the top of the pack. Coming through and taking the ball, but not able to get through. There was Henry Slattery. Ball spills clear. Tanunda with numbers around the ball, booted up forward to the 50. Britton was there but couldn't mark the ball. In there is Ben Schiller. Ball comes out to Magic Reckerwiser. He sees a player out here by himself in Baldwin. He goes to the top of his head, runs towards the boundary line. He's got to run a long way to get it, but he's still got plenty of space, and he's able to put the pass in. Low pass to Bryce. Bryce uses his body but can't keep the ball in play, and a ball in right in front of the grandstand here at Gawler Central's Oval.
So you know why they call him Magic. It's pretty exciting when he gets it. He just turns on the speed, doesn't he? You can just picture him running out of defence all day if he gets the chance. Boundary throw in, now centre wing on the main grandstand side, if you like.
They're just great vision too, to pick out a person by themselves. And look, it was clear in front of him. He could have gone down the corridor, but then again, Newry probably haven't made as good a use of it as they could have.
So Douglas and Westhoff in the ruck now. Douglas, Westhoff gets it down and kicked quickly forward by Bignell. But the man jumping in there is the coach, Slattery, and Hopener's on his own. He's got a man over the top too, who is Shinnick. He goes that way. He gets it.
Hopener will run on.
So Newry, some good passage of play here. He's just taking some time. Doesn't want to obviously rush and cough up the ball. He goes long inside 50 now. Not sure this is working as well. Paul bombing it in both teams a little bit, and Harmon for Tanunda takes the mark. He goes outside and finds Matty Westhoff looking for options, dancing, crabbing sideways. Kicks it to Matt Pryor, who takes a mark. That's barely 15 as well, but
15 high,
but paid. Pryor now again looks down the line looking for number 6. Nathan Peterson-Gray can't take the mark. Hopener mops up. He kicks inside 50. Now we get a real 1-on-2 battle. Both players fly at the footy. Ball hits the deck. The Rover crumbs it. Taken high there, the Tanunda player. And that is Aaron Fechner. He's been injected into the game and he's taken high in defensive 50 and will receive the free kick.
Yeah, Bobby slotted that goal through though, but Tanunda really need to get inside their 50. Yeah, it's just not happening.
They do, and look, their defence is holding up really well. As you pointed out before, Kim, Newry are bombing it a little bit in there, and to credit to Tanunda's defence, they're holding up well. If they can somehow get it down there and get a goal against the Tide here, that would be really helpful for them.
Or run it out with some method. That kick goes. Found the eye of the needle, and Matthew Pryor takes the mark. The grandstand wing.
He's a really good mark, Matty Pryor. Always has been, especially in pack situations. Watched a lot of him down at Central District and can take a good mark. He plays on and fires Snowden in the middle on his own. He sends it way wide and has out there Joseph Thompson. He goes inside, and Tanunda got loose players here, and the mark taken by, I think, young Fraser Smith, looks like.
Much better play, good use of the footy, didn't bomb it, found the loose, and a shot for goal from about 40 directly in front for Smith would hopefully for Tanunda's sake so go back and kick it.
Fritzy Smith, so I played in a cricket premiership with this young man a couple of years ago, Jamo.
What's he, Kapunda boy?
Yeah, well, yeah, and he's sort of half Tanunda, half Kapunda, but his brothers play for Kapunda and he plays at Tanunda, and it looks like he's slotted at the young fella. One on the board for Tanunda, much needed goal.
And they move on to 3-3.
Tanunda half Kapunda, but his brothers play for Kapunda and he plays at Tanunda, and it looks like he's slotted at the young fella. One on the board for Tanunda, much needed.
Newry have been forcing them wide and forcing them to overuse the ball, but able to go up the corridor and a free kick almost directly in front of the goals, or mark, sorry, and Tanunda finally on the scoreboard in this second quarter of the 2018 Brosselite and Gawler Football Association Grand Final. Rakawaza easily wins the ruck that time. Coming out with it is Jack Scholes, the captain for the Tigers. It's an effective handball, and there's a big pack around the ball. Tanunda able to get it out though. Wobbly kick up the forward line. Perhaps could have marked there Trembath, but elected to pat the ball forward in front of him and rolled over, and we'll have a ball up just inside the 50 for Tanunda. Just a bit of a spring in their step, the Magpies.
Still a lot of energy in the contest. A lot of secondary ball ups we've seen today. Yep. Players still have plenty of energy. Game hasn't really opened right up yet. Bignell gets a quick kick inside 50, but reading it well back there is James Bentley. He takes the mark, looks to switch to the outer side. It's a bit of a mongrel punt. Bounces in front of Magic. Lee Westhoff's the one to gather it. Gets a quick handball to Trenbath. Shimmies inside. Spots up. Oh, I think he was looking for Douse there, but Newry chipping in front and getting the ball. They go wide to the outer side now. Hopener. Newry seem keen to kick it to the opposite side whenever they get it in defence, and a big bump by Parker Nelden to lay it on young Darms there. He gets the free kick.
Hands off to Hopener. Hopener sends the Tigers forward again, but only as far as Matthew Pryor. Pryor now inside the defending 50. Can he switch play? It's on, wide, looking for Westhoff. Snowden, Snowden over the top to McFarlane. McFarlane along the wing. Intercepted, however, by Bobby Rakawiza. He sails the ball into the 50 to no one in particular. The ball should dribble out of bounds in the forward pocket. No, Tanunda keep it in play. Hopefully they won't get penalised by it. Flying kick out, but intercepting is Aaron Laverty. And the lad will have another kick at goal from about the same distance, albeit. Is it Fowlis?
Yeah.
Albeit it's a bit wider angle.
Yeah, I was thinking it was a good result for Newry if the ball did dribble out there, but 3 Tanunda players managed to keep it in, but just couldn't hit someone heading out of 50. This ball's short of just outside the square it lands, and it's brought to ground, and a free kick goes the way of AJ Pryor. He's got Harmon on in the pocket on his own. If he turns quickly, he's got Smith again down the line. Elects to go further than that, looking for Neldner. Tries to make a contest, but ball lands on the ground. Well roved by Laverty. Handball's inside to a player I haven't called yet, Gogol, and he goes inside forward 50. Ball again on the deck, players scrambling. Tanunda, free kick and advantage. And Neldner takes the mark at centre-half back. He's got Bignell short. Again, elects to go further down the line rather than take the short option. And he's got players camped under it here. And Gogol, great position, strong grab from the veteran.
Yeah, the veteran Gogol, previous captain at the Newry Football Club, and a premiership captain and also a premiership player at Central Districts. Handball and fell over was Henry Slattery, failed to keep his feet, and the ball's pushed across the boundary line. And Benny Schiller just coming up close and personal to him.
How old's Gogol now, Jam? I thought he was a veteran 10 years ago. He's still going. He's older than me. He's at least, he'd be 40-ish.
No, he's not 40.
He's not as old as Matty Doakey.
Not as old as, no one's as old as Matthew Dakey. Newry into attack though, and this time it's through Jack Scholes, the captain. Lucky to be really playing, but his kick is smothered. Now with a bit of time it was AJ Pryor. He's kicked the ball out wide. Lee Westhoff firing it in long, but just waiting for it under the ball. Looks like Gogol, and he'll just casually chip out wide looking for Bobby Raggerwiser, but over his head and out of bounds on the full.
Those skinny wings again, yeah. Jamo, they'll get you.
Ball is in board. And I think it's Brett Dowles with the ball for Tanunda. He goes across half forward to find Turlick by himself. That's nowhere near where the mark was taken, but the Newry players got away with it. No.
Umpire's standing where the mark was
taken.
But he's not bringing the... No,
come back. Oh, well, I don't know. No.
Well played, young fella, on the mark.
Exactly.
Full points to him. Turlick finds a great lead from Westhoff in the pocket on his own. And instead of having a shot from 50, Matthew Westhoff will now have a shot from 37.36 metres out.
Hugely important goal for the Magpies here. They trail Newry 6-1-37 to 3-3-21. It's 16 points. This will bring it back to less than 2 goals if Westhoff can nail this. Not an easy kick. He's probably kicking into the breeze. Probably needs to still aim it just at the centre of the goal. Don't worry about the fade. Kicks on the way.
Looks good, Jamo.
He's done that. Oh. Now that is the top of the post.
Yeah, I called it incorrectly earlier. Hit the very, very, very top of the post.
Just much better play from Tanunda. They're lowering the eyes and find that loose man inside 50. They're looking much more dangerous going forward now.
Bignell seems to be at the clearances. I've always liked Ryan Bignell as a clearance player. In the old days at Tanunda with him and Billy Wells, it was Wells to Bignell, Bignell out of the centre.
So Newry now, they go short into the pocket.
Hopener again, is it?
Yep, Hopener there. He's had plenty of the footy today, no doubt about that. He's points down the line. He's definitely going to go long, perhaps not long in the quarter. Perhaps he knows that. Smothered off the boot by Turlick on the mark with some great play. Handball inside now. Tanunda have a chance. Well, good tackle laid there.
Yeah.
Newry appealing for holding the ball, but the umpire says he'll ball it up.
Tanunda took the risk then too. Could have gone back and taken his kick, but elected the handball and get the ball moving. Big pack around the ball though for the throw up. You'd have to think it'll be another one. And it is. No one able to break clear.
Okay, so Westhoff doing pretty well in the ruck, it must be said. The ball spills down. Brooks in the box seat from Tanunda to gather this. Doesn't. Darm's little toe poke. Oh, he nearly went another little toe poke, but AJ Pryor put his body right over it. Neldner threw his body in there. Might have missed the Newry player he's going for and accidentally got a teammate, I reckon, there. Looks like he's beefed up a bit, Parker Neldner. Haven't seen him for a few years. Played cricket against him as a young lad too. Jamo was just a little string bean then, but he's been in the gym the last 3 or 4 years by the looks.
And Parker's got his own style when it comes to football. Britton doing the ruck work now for Tanunda. Is Kurtz up in the goal square? Can you see, or is he on the bench? Kurtz?
I think he's off.
I think he's come off the ground.
Yeah.
Well, that's a blow for the Magpies, of course. Newry, that's not 15, surely. Now with Bobby Rakawaiser spins onto his right boot into a vacant 50-metre line. There's only 2 players down there. Who gets back there the quickest? Matt Pryor. I've got Matt Booth on the mind, I think.
They're originally both from up that way, under Robertstown.
Yeah. Clears out. Zach Darms is there for Newry. Spins out of trouble. Gets it onto his boot, but only as far as Turlick. Turlick in the back pocket for the Magpies. Gets a handball out. Kick towards Britton. Britton should take the mark. The veteran, another veteran out there. Ben Britton, premiership coach at Tanunda. Chips to McFarland. McFarland goes to Schiller. Schiller turns, plays on. Put down by Rakawaiser. That's
well
probably
played.
Yep.
Schiller, the skipper, he didn't have to hit the deck. He played it beautifully. Kicked it, knew he was going to be bumps. Sort of played it a bit and got the downfield free kick. But unfortunately, it would have been taken 70 out from goal. And so no result. It's half time.
6-1 to 3-4 in favour of the Tigers. 15-point break. And Tanunda failed to make much inroads. Only 1 goal to Newry, kicking with the breeze, we feel, and 1 to Tanunda. But the game's just tightened up, but it's not closed up, is it?
No, it hasn't. I mean, Newry really dominated the quarter with the inside 50s, and Tanunda stood up, 1 goal each for the quarter. The scoreboard, there's not much in it really this game. 15 points is not a lot, and Tanunda just started to get on top that last 10 minutes with some better footy through the middle and finding some targets up inside the 50. So if they can continue to play that sort of style of play, this game will be very close right to the end.
The coach happy, you reckon?
I think Slattery would be, thinking they haven't really been rewarded well enough on the scoreboard yet. They've had a fair dominance, and I think if you cast mine back to when they played at South Gawler a couple of weeks ago, it was a bit similar, and Tanunda came back. So for Turlich, for Tanunda, on the other hand, would be going in there saying, we're just starting to build now, boys. We're making better decisions with the footy, and we're starting to find them out a little bit when we go forward.
Gordon yet to kick a goal for the Tigers, even though they're leading. Sam Gordon, he's their full forward leading goal kicker, not amongst the goals.
Well, Dearlove sort of pitched in that first quarter and kicked 2 goals and took the pressure off him.
Spinning and kicking a goal is Aaron Laverty for Newry. That's 5 straight for the Tigers.
Out of his experience, will probably dob it, which will be danger signs for the Magpies. Laconic in the game, he has dobbed it indeed.
Laconic kick, he just did that.
Half Tanunda, half Kapunda, but his brothers play for Kapunda and he plays at Tanunda, and it looks like he's slotted at the young fella. 1 on the board for Tanunda. Much
for them.
But Tanunda aren't out of the contest.
They're not. They're not out of it. No way. They're a dangerous side when they get their game going, and even though Newry have got a little bit of a break of 15 points, it's anyone's game at half time.
Better players. How do you see them for both sides at the moment? See, we've got a tip for the Hearn medal.
Well, I thought Pryor was very good. Matt Pryor was very good that quarter for Tanunda. He really stood up and took some good contested marks. He had a good quarter. I think Darcy Heyman back there for the quarter had a bit of an influence. Bignell got involved.
Matty Westhoff in the ruck.
Matty Westhoff in the ruck was really good. I thought Peterson Gray gave a bit of grunt around the footy. McFarlane and Turlich did their little bit. And for Newry, Gogol actually had a good second half of that quarter. Bobby continued his good form. I thought Baldwin's had a reasonably solid half for Newry as well.
Hopener continues to get the ball.
Hopener, he's been very good. Yeah, he's had a very good half. And if I was Tanunda, I'd be putting someone on him as a defensive half forward just to try and quell his influence a little bit.
There hasn't been much run with, though. You'd think that players like Turlick and Baldwin, McFarlane, would all be having players running with them, tagging them. Seems to be both sides are relying on their back 6 to clear the ball and run it forward.
Yeah, well, like you see with Turlick, they seem to be rotating off him, not necessarily someone going to him in that quarter particularly. You saw at different particular times. You had Sean Gibson was on him for a part. Hopner picked him up for a little bit. Obviously Scholes as well. So they're just mixing it up there, and no real hard tags, which is good from a spectator's point of view.
Yeah, but we still have only got 9 goals kicked in the half. We've ran out nowhere near the goals of the first quarter. Defences of both sides are on top, aren't they?
They are. Both defences are definitely on top, and it is hot out there, so it's a bit of fitness will come into this in the second half. I'm sure both teams are fairly hard fit, but it is very hot out there, and the team that's prepared to work hardest for longest will probably win this game.
Yep, but it's still up for grabs, I suppose. That's the thing. Even though Newry appear to dominate it, probably possession-wise and probably entrances into 50 are probably mainly Newry, but Tanunda still have clung on to the game. Someone, though, does need to open it up. Or if Tanunda are going to win, they've got to open this game up somehow in the last half and score lots of goals.
Well, it was good to see Trenbar sort of play up a little bit higher that quarter. You could even put him on a wing for 5 minutes and just get him getting hold of the footy and making some good decisions going forward. So that's the thing they probably need to keep trying is try things out, keep rotating to see what works. They're prepared to do that so far, which I think is important. Whereas Newry, I guess, are just backing in their system and their formula, which has been so good for them all year.
Okay, well, I suppose we better have a bit of a break. It's half-time here at the 2018 Barossa Light and Gawler Football Association Grand Final. It's Newry up to 6 goals, 137, and they lead Tanunda 3-4-22.
We've got Teacher Gallia 5 goals 10 to Ross Trevor 4-2. So it's a 14-point lead to Teacher Gallia at the Thebarton Oval. Teacher Gallia playing Ross Trevor Old Collegiate. So just about to start the third term here.
Oh, they're both turning black, aren't they?
Just go over a few of the goal kickers in the first half. For Newry-Upta, we've got Laverty with 1, we've got Slattery with 2, Shane Dearlove with 2, and Zach Darms got the first goal of the game with 1. For Tanunda, Josh Trembath with 2, and Fraser Smith got 1. So Tanunda with it all to do in front of them to win the game.
Here we are back at the start of the second half, the 2018 Barossa Light and Gawler Football Association Grand Final.